So my name is Duncan. I am the product lead for both Community Cloud and B2B Commerce here in APAC. And this morning, I'm going to take you through a little bit of background around Salesforce Partner Relationship Management. And then we're going to hear from the star of the show today, Eddie Chinapan, and he's going to talk to you about how Telstra has used Salesforce PRM to transform their partner experience. Now, one of the great things about being first up is I get to do the safe harbor slide for you all. So just in case none of you don't know this off by heart, Salesforce is a publicly listed company, so please make all your purchasing decisions based on the currently available software and services. Now that that's out of the way, one of the key things that I think we have really seen emerge in the last couple of years around managing channel sales is this whole principle that the critical thing that you need to be able to do here is deliver ease of use to the partners. And what this really means is it's really about delivering ease of use in terms of onboarding, ease of use in terms of them using the marketing tools available for them to amplify their business, making it easy for them to sell with you, and also making it easy for both your channel managers and your partners themselves to analyze that business and understand trends that are happening there. In fact, Forrester now would recommend that it is the #1 indicator of success within channel sales is actually ease of use. And we've seen a number of our customers really take up this whole idea of deploying a new experience for their partners and be very successful with it. So Telstra has, Schneider Electric has transformed their partner portal, and they now have over 1.1 million registered partner users on that particular portal. And I think what we see in most of the people I talk to is they have a whole series of very fragmented systems. So most of us, when we think about how are we delivering the capability for partners to do business with us, it's spread over a series of different systems. They go one place to look at customer data, they go somewhere else to look at their leads. It's a completely disparate system to do training and certification. And then in many occasions that I talk to people, sometimes you have to download a spreadsheet to go away and actually deliver a quote. All of this is making it difficult for those partners to essentially go and sell on your behalf. So when we think about this problem from a Salesforce perspective, our ambition in terms of partner relationship management is to deliver a single platform based on the Sales Cloud platform that will really make it easy for you to deliver experiences that are easy to use for your partners. So how do we make it easy for you to actually go through the process of onboarding and recruiting partners? How do we allow your partners to go and build their business to increase the demand using marketing tools? How do we leverage all of the Einstein and intelligence within the platform to optimize what those sales processes look like? And I think really kind of critically that whole idea, and it's quite a simple idea, how do we make sure that everyone is working off a common record of what is happening in the sales environment? And what that drives for you is obviously visibility is what is happening in your channel. What does your channel forecast look like? What are the trends? What is the intelligence you can gain from understanding how channel sales are progressing? And of course, the critical thing is also allowing the partners themselves to understand that level of detail. And when we think about PRM, one of the things that we're looking to do is really try and give you essentially tools and capabilities that address the entire life cycle of your partners. So we have a partner relationship management product. On top of that, we have an entire ecosystem in the App Exchange of components that you can plug and play and use within your overall PRM strategy. And this is to be able to allow you to do things like easily recruit or educate if your ambition is to grow the size of your channel. If you're looking at how do I optimize, for instance, the performance of that channel, maybe education and certification within an LMS as some of the things that you want to plug in to these parts of the life cycle. And so when you think about what we deliver, it's not just partner community, it's partner community and all the other bits and pieces that come with it from the platform and from the App Exchange. And ultimately, this has led us to be recognized as a leader within the partner relationship space by a number of the analysts that we have. But it's not just, I think, recognition from an analyst organization that counts. What really counts is like, what are our actual customers seeing happen within their partner channel? And so a couple of things from a customer success. So you can see here that Red Hat was able to increase their deal registration by $1 billion, which is a lot of money in my world, I think. You also see it in other organizations that are focused on driving efficiency. So Barclays looking at how do they actually improve the efficiency with their broker channel, all the way through to people like Aston Martin, who are seeing a significant increase in their lead conversion. All of these things ultimately are about making that channel work, run efficiently, and drive revenue for you. And so with that said, I'd actually like to now welcome Eddie Chinapan to the stage. And Eddie's going to take you through in more detail actually how Telstra has deployed PRM. Welcome, Eddie.
Thank you, Duncan. Good morning, everybody. So as Duncan introduced, my name is Eddie Chinapan. I'm the head of digitization for Telstra Partner Channels. So my team and I are essentially building Telstra's first ever PRM. And a bit of context of the business that we represent. So my team works under the Telstra Enterprise segment, of which we are serving the large to government segment customers, and which contributes about $10 billion worth of $8 to $10 billion worth of revenue to the company, and 10% of that comes from our partner channel. And the partner channel is a key strategic channel for Telstra, where we are aiming to grow them 20% year on year. Right? So to achieve that aggressive growth target, we cannot continue doing business the way we've been doing for the last 5, 10, 20 years, right? We need to start to learn how to attract new talent. We need to understand who our partners are, right? What are partners' capabilities? How are they behaving? We need to gain more data and insights to better performance manage those partners. So now, more insights on our partners. We've got about 350 partners, and 30% of those partners generate 90% of the revenue, right? Really interesting. So who are these other 70%? What are they doing? And this 30% is doing really well. Why are they doing such a good job? So we can't achieve that insights with the way we are doing business today. So the PRM is going to help us get there. That's one area. The other thing I mentioned about attracting new talents. So we've got graduates coming out of university who are much younger than us. Their experience on digital devices. So we cannot give them the experience that we've been using with spreadsheets and complex portals to work with. They need a point-and-click experience. So, and as well as the products that we are selling are far more complex. So using old tools and portals doesn't help us achieve that seamless, quick experience and sales cycle that we want to achieve for our partners, therefore our customers as well. So the PRM is not only a transactional tool. Really, that's the first thing that we understood when we set this up. It's not a tool where you're going to submit your order. It's not there to just understand who your customers are, but as what Duncan had showed, you got this range of capabilities that we need to leverage to build the insights and data and build that relationship. And the word relationship is really important as part of growing the channel. Here's some examples of what our partners have been suffering through the last 20 years. This is one example of an ordering tool that they have today, or they were using until recently. Here's another example of another ordering tool. Just look at the interface, the amount of text and the amount of fields that they've got to go through. And this is an example of a portal that they had to go to dedicatedly just to find information about products that were launched. So now if you are a partner selling complex infrastructure solutions to a government segment, it's practically impossible to have a good turnaround and experience to deliver a solution to our customers with this number of portals. We have about 40 of these kind of portals that our partners have to go through today to build a solution for our customers, right? And traditionally in Telstra, when we build a product or a tool, we normally build that focus our internal sales team first. So then when we try to take it out to our partners, we try to force fit that to our partners, and the partners basically have to come up with ad hoc processes to just overcome this complexity, right? And that results in really a very fragmented environment, and sales cycles slow down, and you can see the complexity in the tools that you have up here. It also can lead to errors, therefore impacting customer experience. So we got to address that. And I give some other quick stats here. Like I said, no, manual processes don't help. A simple task as sharing an opportunity with a partner could take more than 3 days. It's ridiculous. And we ran an end-to-end test with ordering a particular bundle in Telstra today, and that took more than 20 days to take it from an opportunity stage to an order submission. Right, 20 days, right? So there's a sense of urgency that we need to address. Now, what I'll go through to you in the next few slides is just talk to you through the journey that we took in resolving these things from the day the project team stood up, and some of our key learnings and how we got to where we are today. So the first thing, my project team got stood up in January 2018. It was a pretty new team. I was quite new to the role as well. I had previous experience in channels and product management, but the rest of the team was more of a delivery side. You had BAs, designers, developers. So when we started the project, we were due to the fragmented nature of the business, there was very little information on what the partner channel business was about. So we struggled to understand, okay, how do we go about actually building a PRM? What are the features and functions that we need to build in here? So instead of starting with a blank sheet of paper, thank God we had the Salesforce best practice guide, which Duncan had also showed earlier, some of the features that they had in there. We took that as our guide and then worked with the business very closely to augment that, to add additional features that would represent what Telstra needed. So that was the first step. The second thing that this best practice guide did for us was it also helped us structure our workshop and interviews. So for the 6-week period, every single workshop had a team guided by these features that we had defined. And then the last thing was it also helped us set up our roadmap, which made life much easier because we understood all the features that we're going to deliver at a high level and be able to prioritize them. The other thing that we did, a very conscious investment that we did at the start of the project, was to ensure that the entire delivery team was fully immersed with the business. And what I mean by this is that during the entire 6-week period, myself, my BAs, my designers, the process team were all engaged in those interview sessions, including our user experience team. Because what we wanted to do was we wanted to walk out of this 6-week interview period feeling that we were one with the business. We understood who our business was, understood the customer pain points, understood the problems, the process issues, and basically the dividends paid off, right? We walked out of that feeling like we were in the shoes of the business. We understood every single problem they were going through. We came out equally as passionate as they were about wanting to fix their problem. And that has paid off a lot over the last few months in terms of how we build our features and how we engage with the business. Now, with all transformation projects, there are going to be a lot of challenges. There were many, but the one that really stood out to me was the difficulty the business had in actually communicating to us their requirements and making decisions quickly so that we could actually build a solution for them, right? And I'll give you an example. Opportunity management. It's something that Telstra's been doing for decades. But when it came to actually building it on the PRM, we struggled. We just could not get clean, meaningful requirements. And the conversations were basically like, Eddie, please tell us what Salesforce can do, right? And what we want to hear from this, not build something for us, right? Give us the requirements. And this just kept going down, for a 3 or 4 week period. It was slowing us down. And what we did was we said, all right, we understand what some of the business processes through the interviews. We know Lightning is easy to work with, quite quick to build with. We know we want to do things out of the box. So why don't we build a prototype, a base level prototype of what opportunity management would mean for the business based on our knowledge, and use that as the starting point of the workshops. Now, this is just phenomenal because essentially what this did was it allowed us to get, by demonstrating the prototype at the start of the workshop, you get feedback from the business stakeholders immediately. And this feedback was essentially their requirements of what they wanted the solution to look like. So giving them something tangible to look at helped them visualize what the experience would be, what the process would be, and then this basically became an evolving feedback loop that refined the requirements. And we were able to move very quickly. Basically, within 2-3 workshops, we were able to get good quality requirements that will allow us to lock down the solution. So essentially what I'm trying to say here is that, don't try to start with a blank canvas. Use what the tools that are already available with you, right? Lightning, thank God we've got that. Now, we've invested a lot of time with the business. We understood business problems, and we had a good set of developers that we could mock up prototypes and use that as a starting point for the workshop. And that became the catalyst for driving the requirements. Now, the next 3 slides, I'll walk you through our roadmap, the journey that we took, and the reasons behind each phases of the roadmap. So there were basically 3 phases. We had the MVP, and we have what I call scale or national launch, and the third phase is enhancements. And each of them played a very significant role, and they had defined purposes on what they were there for. MVP was all about testing the business assumptions. So you're taking the business from the legacy world onto new platform. We're building new processes, new user experience, and we need to test those assumptions. That's the first point. Second point was to keep our stakeholders engaged. This is really important in Telstra. Traditionally, an IT program would take a year, 2 years. The business environment has changed. The stakeholders have got bored. They've lost their interest. So we needed to make sure that we need to move very fast to show them tangible progress. So the features that we picked and the level of complexity that we put into those features, make sure that we could deliver them quickly as well. And the third thing was to drive adoption. You had to make sure that features that you built was relevant. So I'll give a couple of quick examples in terms of what MVP stood for. The foundation of the platform, right? Your security and privacy rules you've got to set up, protect your customer data. Third thing is the roles and hierarchy. All the different personas in the business and in the partner channel need to have specific function they can perform on the platform. So the roles and hierarchies were critical. And if we talk about adoption, for partners, it's all about money. And the money starts with the opportunity. So building the opportunity process was the first thing that we focused on. Now, the MVP period lasted around 4 months, and then we started going to our scale, which is national launch. And there, again, very clear objective, 100% business continuity. We were not getting distracted with fancy features. It's all about making sure the business now can operate on the new platform. And the things that we focused on was fixing all the bugs and issues that we had from the MVP phase, making sure all the feedback they received from the partners were addressed, and then enhancing a few more features to make sure that they were ready for scale. So such as opportunity management. Now we added a lot more capabilities to that to ensure that all the various combinations and business rules are addressed so it can support the entire business. And we introduced a CPQ capability, configure price quote, and the ordering functionality for a particular bundle that we were trialing, that we were taking to market. And then one that I was quite excited about was the product communication capability, because I was a product manager before, and I knew the struggles we had in terms of reaching to our partners when we were trying to launch a new campaign. So traditionally in Telstra, when we have a new market campaign or a new offer, we would do a blanket email to all 350 partners, and we would hope they've read it. Now, with this capability now, through the portal, we are able to push the campaigns directly to the end user, and we can actually measure the interaction of each user on this communication. Second thing is, from internally as a marketing team, it would have taken us, traditionally it would have taken us weeks to publish and push this content out. Now we can actually do it literally in real time, and we can actually edit the content and push it in real time directly to the users. So for me, that was a big win internally as effectiveness for time to market. So our national launch now is coming to an end, and we're sort of basically getting started on the enhancements phase. And the enhancements phase is all about introducing new capabilities to the business, right? Things the business has not done before. Helping the business now take a next step up to become a better organization. So such as using AI, leveraging a lot of the data that we have. What can we do with this data to increase speed, increase automation, improve sales efficiency? So an example would be a feature that I'm quite excited about. It's called partner recommendation. So what that does is, through a marketing campaign, we generate leads. And now, instead of someone in Telstra marketing or another department looking at the lead, making an assessment and pushing it down to the right partner, which could take days or weeks, we're going to let the Salesforce CRM platform help us make the decision based on this lead, which is the best partner that should be working on this lead. and that will be done essentially in real time, right? So again, we're cutting down the time customers have to wait to be contacted by us once they submit a lead, and we remove the subjectivity in making a decision, which is the partner that should be working on this. It's all driven based on data. So data that we're using, for example, is geography, accreditation, the partner skill, even the capacity of the partner. And again, but if you look through all the slides, one thing that's important there is user adoption. So every single feature that we launch is there to encourage users to come onto the platform. And the other thing I should have also mentioned about the roadmap is that we were very strict in the guidelines of the roadmap. Right? We did not get distracted. In a large organization like Telstra, there are a lot of opinions, and if you're not very strong, and your roadmap can get diluted. So we knew who our stakeholders were, who we were building this for, and we worked on the roadmap with those stakeholders on it, right? So that was really important. That's how we were allowed, or that's how we enabled us to get through these features really quickly and get them to the right level that we needed to. Now, so it's been 14, 15 months since we started the project. There's some key learnings that I took away, and there are some things that we implemented intentionally to make this a successful project. And these are the 4 things that I felt that stand out for us. One is processes. You're taking the business from the old world to the new world. Leave your old processes behind where you can. Don't bring it with you, because you will slow down your platform. Really, really important, right? And try not to make the platform resolve poor human behavior, because you'll just end up creating a very poor user experience. Really, really important. Change management. This is something I sort of realized quite late in the project. Make change management a key contributor to your project. They need to be there from the start. Right? They need to be part of your strategy, because the change management team is not all about training and comms. They can add a lot of value in terms of helping you understand the complexity of the feature you're launching. Can your users consume all this information quick enough, right? And also when they're part of the project from the start, they understand what the features are. So their learning is also on the journey with you. So that's really, really important. Have a business mindset. So your skills, the skills of the team that you have is really important. This is something I'm working with our partners, Infosys. Now, traditionally, a lot of BAs and IT and designers are very technically minded. So our role is trying to coach them and make them think in the business sense. So when they engage the business, they're talking to them in the same language at the same level. And this will end up having much more meaningful conversations with your stakeholders, right? So they'll understand the pain points, they understand the requirements, and they can move faster. That's really, really important. And the last one is the business model. This is not, I just mentioned someone earlier today, PRM is not Las Vegas, where you build them and people are going to come, right? So you have to think about a business model that's going to drive adoption, right? What changes do you need to make to your contracts? What changes you need to make to your commercial constructs to make sure people will use the platform? It's also important that the community understands the purpose of a PRM. I mentioned earlier, it's not a transactional tool. You're here to build a relationship with your channel, and understand who they are, and learn a lot more about them, so you can actually improve the performance of the channel. So if your executives do not understand that, there will be a problem. So you got to they have to understand the concept of a PRM, why it's there for. Here are some examples of the user interface that we have, and they're actually working on right now. What I should have mentioned earlier, when we started with the MVP of the project, we did not spend too much time on user interface. We were all focusing about business processes and functions. And we left user experience, not user experience, but user interface and information architecture as the second phase. And so which is what we're working on right now. So if you want to have a better close look at this, there's a working demo in the Telstra booth. But as you can see here, just some quick highlights. The top banner there, that's our hero campaign at the moment in the market. And that's pushed directly to the user. And James Pearson, in this case, he works for a partner that's certified to work in I think this offer, if I recall, it's a cloud solution. So that's the partner, and that's what they're certified. So therefore, they receive this campaign. The other thing that's important to note here, the dashboards there are highly personalized, and that's a dashboard specific to James. It tells him how he's performing as a seller. And on the right-hand side, you see some links for quick creation of opportunities and leads and cases. Also a summary of some of the leads in the inbox, right? So this is how we envision what is important to our users. And then this is something I'm quite passionate about, again, because of my product management background. So we've had the hero offer on the first page, what's current, what's relevant, but also offers remain in the market for quite a long period. So there are some information here for the sales consultant to realize, okay, what are the offers that were on there last week or last month? They're still current, they're still active. So by going to these different, the top line 3 offers, not only they understand what the offers are, you can actually access the content behind those offers, the business rules, the offer rules, all these things are also behind that. The other thing that's really important is the library of information, right? If you recall the previous, I think 4 or 5 slides, there was a portal with a whole bunch of information about different offers, but now all that is captured in this section called library. So this is your FAQs, your how-tos, your collaterals, everything is organized and structured in this platform. And again, the experience is point and click, right? No more searching to random portals. The third example here is a quick view of the opportunity management page. Again, point and click, clean, simple. It gives the user a status of the opportunity. Some features that we've sort of tried to, that we built here are what we call an opportunity team. Again, because being a very complex ICT environment, you're not like you're selling a mobile phone where it's a one-to-one conversation. So you allow the sales consultant to put a team together, a team of their employees within their partner organization, as well as a group of Telstra sales team, support team to work with them on the opportunity team. And everyone in this opportunity team now can collaborate in real time on that opportunity and share notes through the chatter function that's on the right. And important to note, important thing to note here is that every interaction that we built in here can be measured, right? So we can actually capture real life interaction, real life data on how they're performing on the opportunity. And also what's important is internally in Telstra, we can also see in real time the interaction that's taking place on a customer account, which is really important for us. And we can produce reports on SLAs, on how long it takes an opportunity to be created, even on cases that we create, how long does it take us to respond to a case, right? Yeah, so it's taken us quite a long way from where we were. And just to wrap up some of the things that we've introduced to the business, now we've got real-time reporting, like as I mentioned to you before. From the start of the 6 weeks interview period where I think we uncovered something about 300 business pain points. We've resolved 31% of those pain points already. So big win for us. Real-time opportunity management, and I really mean real-time. What used to take us more than 3 days to share an opportunity, now we can actually do it in real time. Like I can actually share an opportunity with the partner immediately, right? And I mentioned to you that we had a product that took us more than 20 days from opportunity to order submission. Now we are doing that in under 20 minutes, right? It's just revolutionary for us as Telstra. And then the other things from a partner's experience, every interaction, as I mentioned, is captured. We can track them. We can see how we are performing internally as an organization supporting our partners. We can see how well our partners are supporting our customers, and we can track on that. And all this data brings in transparency to help us manage the business better, and which means our customers get a much better experience as well. I'll hand you back to Duncan. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Eddie. So always a pleasure to work with Eddie. I would say if you want to hear more about the capabilities we have, obviously the Sales Cloud keynote at 2 p.m. is going to be a great thing to do. But I would really urge you to go over, it's just over there, is the Salesforce experience. So you can actually go over there and see how Telstra is using some of the technology that we're talking about in a series of demonstrations. And with that, I'd like to thank you for your time today, and have a lovely day.